Hey gang, this is Heather for Liberty Librarian. I've been having some technical difficulties today, so I really apologize. Don't know. It just didn't want to work today. I'm glad I could get it to work. I had to use my other account. Not sure. I'm locked out. So sorry it took a little while to get on. I just wanted to make sure I could get it sort of going, and it's sort of going, right? Hopefully all is good. I am just really glad to be here. I am looking at all of this, trying to figure out if I got somewhere. So, just to let you know, on some of the different feeds, it might not be, the comments might not be working correctly because I'm using like a restream. So, I might not see it in my dashboard. So, I'll try to check on it. I might have to see it later. So, I'm sorry, it's not working for me today. Don't know what's going on. Usually StreamYard's pretty good, but it's okay. And Melissa, don't worry. At least I got this to work. I'm using the restream stuff, so it's gonna show up. It's just gonna look kind of weird for a little bit, and I'm gonna pour myself a Coke Zero with some lime because here's the deal. This is Sober October for Heather, the Liberty Librarian, and I am trying really hard to be healthy and to lose a little weight, to kind of test out and see what it's like to not have something like alcohol mess with my metabolism a little bit. There are people that are close to me who found out that they have type 2 diabetes, and it makes you really think. It makes you kind of go, I don't want to have any of that happen in my life. So I am trying. On my Facebook page, I had shared, have you guys heard of Michael Mosley? He has been around for a little while. I'm going to take a little sip. Having technical difficulties is stressful. Let's see. I'm just going to peek around and see if there's anything going on Facebook that I need to worry about. Yeah, it might be something going on. There's some weird stuff. I had a hard time even like getting some of my messages to work on Facebook. So it might be my internet's doing something weird. So hopefully you can see the show. That's all. I saw somebody liked it. So I'm feeling like it's working. So that's good. Let's see what I feel like discombobulated. Dear Lord, what a day. Well, that's all fine. Today is MEA, and tomorrow is MEA here in Minnesota. It's Minnesota Educational Association. They have a couple days of professional development for faculty and librarians and all sorts. And so I have had a lot of Zoom meetings today, but I should have got on earlier because usually I can just hop right on and like set up the show. It's easy. But today it was just like the last hour I've been struggling. So yeah, you're like, Heather, we don't care. We're here. I know we're here. It just threw me off. Oh my God. Oh my God. So what else? So I got this today and tomorrow off, and even then I got some work and I'm doing, but I think it's kind of feels like real fall day today. I mean, seriously, I'm looking outside and I think I heard it might even snow next week. Ugh, Minnesota. Why? So yes, that's what's going on. What I want to talk about today was a little bit about health issues. So, in my intro, I talked a little bit about having the Sober October. And I know a lot of people make that decision and just think it's a great time to be thinking about, do you need that? Do you need alcohol in your life? Do you need it for depression? Do you need it for do you just like it? It's fine. I love a good glass of wine. I love tasty beer. But do you need it every day? Are you drinking a lot? That's the thing. It's in this pandemic, so many people are really overwhelmed and there's a lot of stress in their lives. And it's understandable. It's totally understandable. So how do we cope with that? How does it all work out? I'm gonna share. I'm gonna go to my Liberty Librarian page. Bleh, I can't even type. Just want to make sure everything's working on the pages. I just don't trust it when I'm not using my normal system. That looks like it's working good. Good. I'm gonna just forward that to my to me. I feel like this is old school Liberty Librarian where everything wasn't like working right. I'm gonna share that to my page. Share now. There we go. Good enough. Should be working. So if you're not getting through to me, I'm sorry. It's all there eventually. It should be on the Freedom Revolution Network, YouTube, and I don't think it's gonna be there on the. I'm gonna just share it to the page. Let's see. Sure. Copy link. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go over there. So if people are like, "Where are you, Heather?" I can make sure that you're getting me. And I am there. Let's see. Nope, I don't see it. So we're going to just create a post. You guys are like, this is the weirdest. I know. What can I do? There. Now I'm in a couple places so people can find me. Okay. So back to what I was saying. And then Andy comes home. It's just like a bunch of bad timing things, So Michael Mosley, British doctor in the UK, has a TV show called Horizon back. I think it's getting to be about 8-9 years ago. And this show kind of changed the way things are for me and the way I look at eating and exercise. And I thought it was kind of cool. He came up along with other scientists. I mean, he's the one who wrote the book on it. It's a 5-2 diet. And 5-2 is pretty easy to follow. It's 2 days a week. You have a lower calorie, and the rest of the week you are doing like pretty normal. You can eat normally, healthy. So it's not that hard to follow. The original plan was like 500 calories for women, 600 for men on the 2 days that you were like fasting is what they call it. So it's not, a lot of people think fasting would mean like you're not eating anything all day. And that's not what it means to me. It means you have reduced calories on 2 days a week. So it works pretty good for me. I've had it in the past where I've done it and it I dropped a lot of weight. And my problem with stress is I'm eating and drinking and trying to fill that depression void with food and drink, and I gain weight that way. My metabolism slowed down the older I get. It's not a fun thing, when you realize you are not infallible, and like all these things that you enjoy can cause you a little bit of harm over time. So this last couple weeks I was deciding, I've talked about it before about trying to get healthier, and I've done little baby steps, but this year there was a new version. Well, actually it started last year, but there's a new special that came out. Now, Michael Mosley had a book in between his last version of they call it the fast diet, where it was the 800. He switched it to 800 calories instead of 500 or 600 because more data started to show people had a easier time being successful with 2 days a week. So what he did was he switched that to the 2 days a week, and then he wrote a book about the blood sugar book. I can't remember the exact name of the title, but it was about how diabetics could turn around blood sugar issues and stop being type 2 diabetics. I mean, it was pretty miraculous. So what they had the people do was for, I think it was between 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks, they would go on a very low restrictive diet for 800 calories every day. Now, that seems a little scary, but science says that as long as you're eating very balanced meals and you're pretty much working with a doctor on all of this to make sure if you have health issues that there is somebody watching it. But they also took a multivitamin and it worked for them. They lost a lot of weight, and most of them had turned around their diet like type 2 diabetes, so it went away. So that was kind of interest. So I watched a show. I'm going to see if I can find a clip of it really quick. It was just out this last year. There's 3 episodes of it. Michael Mosley. Let's see if I can find this thing. It's called Lose a Stone in 21 Days with Michael Mosley. Now, for those of you who aren't British, including myself, a stone of weight equals 14 pounds. So to lose 14 pounds in basically 3 weeks, for almost 4 weeks, a stone. So I'm just going to show a little clip of that, just so I'm not going to mute it though. Let's see if I can show what the guy looks like, because I think it's kind of neat. You see, they're in pandemic times, so let's see if I can share this with you guys. Let's make it work. There we go. Okay, so that guy, like, what is attractive about this? How to eat. In the book, it talks a lot more about getting away from artificial drinks and that kind of thing, artificial sweeteners and that sort of thing, trying to be more like a Mediterranean diet, which is pretty much the healthiest diet according to science right now. So they're just doing a low calorie jump start for like 4 weeks, or in the book it was recommended for about 8 weeks if you have a lot to lose. So and like, that's the gimmick, that's it. I mean, there's not a lot more than that. After you get to that point where it was like either that the 21 days or the 8 weeks, and never more than 12 weeks. That was the main thing, is that the 12 weeks is when you start having very low diet issues, like physical issues that start to happen. Like most of the people who were having it would start losing hair. I mean, you don't want to have that happen. So never go past 12 weeks, no matter how much weight you have to lose. And I thought that was kind of interesting because it worked really well for these people. At the end of the show, they talked about how it actually got them like going. And what the science that's coming back in it is saying is that they can lose more weight in a short amount of time. And then for some reason, people always seem to go on diets and then they gain it back, right? That's the problem with diets. Hi, Kara. I was having problems getting on. What a nightmare today. But so the weight loss things that are working for people, like they always say, like slow and steady. And I was talking about this with my friend Kara yesterday, was that eating tons of vegetables is probably one of the best ways of losing weight, no matter what. You could do something extreme like a low calorie diet. You could do something easier like a Mediterranean diet and just eat healthy food and supplement as much, like anything that you would have that would be super high carby, replaced with vegetables. And then you will feel like you could have almost the same amount of food and more, feel full, and lose weight by doing that. I had read things about from Timothy Ferriss. He had a really interesting book about slow carb, but this is getting old, But I think the ideas still work pretty well. That you eat more low carb, eat protein. Protein fills you up. Do a little bit of exercise every day, and you can turn it around. Now, I go down rabbit holes, me, and um, one of the things that I had investigated was what's called HCG diets, and those are extreme, and actually kind of scared me off. But I've seen a lot of success with it, but I'm not going to ever do that. Let's see if I can show you. There's one lady that I thought was really interesting. She was called, I think, HCG Chica, and I'm gonna just like shout out her page because I thought it was kind of useful if you're interested in knowing more what it is. HCG is human. How is it? Chorionic gonadotropin. So this is a hormone that women especially get when they're pregnant and they're having a baby, and it is kind of regulates your hunger, so you don't go crazy hungry. So this is sort of an odd thing. Now, on the WebMD site, they say that the promise in it is, I hate it when videos just don't start there. There's a natural hormone from the body during pregnancy, and they say you can lose a lot of weight. And some people have said it worked. The problem that freaks me out about it is that these people, a lot of times they inject this hormone and they have to do it all throughout this diet, and it's super low calories. That's the thing that freaked me out about it was like 500 calories a day. That just seems a little bit too small for me. And when it was pretty much unregulated on the internet, you could get these shots, and you can get them from online doctors that would pretty much sign off on it. But they also have like oral drops, these pellets that you're supposed to put under your tongue, and sprays. And there was just such a wide variety of fake products that were out there that it was really hard for anybody to even know if it was going to work. But some people said it would work. And then some people said they were just starving the whole time. So I would say that's one I would lean towards not doing, just because FDA does not have approval on it. I mean, like, just because FDA doesn't approve something doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to work or not be good for you. But it's a questionable thing. And I felt a little bit nervous even just reading about it. Let's see. I'm going to just look that up real quick. What was that lady's name? I think it was HCG Chica. And I watched some of her videos, and she had lost like a bunch of weight. And so that's always intriguing to people, is that they can lose so much so quickly. Now, I think that there are ways to lose weight faster, and there are things that work for one person that will not work for anyone else, that will work for some of the people some of the time. And no matter what, losing weight is never fun, and it's never easy. And the people that say it is are probably lying to you. But I've looked at a lot of different, let's see, this lady, I think she's trying to just sell her own plan, because she has like stuff on her site that, here, I'll show you this. It's not a terrible site. It's I think she seems really nice, and so I'm just like, oh, I would look at her if you're interested in learning more about it, or you're like, this is what I'm going to do. And she talks about, she did this phase 3 program, but 500 calories. Like, she went, okay, this is her. She went from size 18 to size 2, which is super tiny. And it's okay. So it said she lost 50 pounds when she did this. Come on, pop-ups. I hate that's one of the things I hate when they're trying to sell so much crap. Um, so in the picture here, that's her with the pink and the blue, and she went from size 18 to 2, they said. And what it said, she after she got to size 2 and 4, she's using CrossFit to get strong, and she lost 2/3 of the fat on her body. And so after HCG never really went back. She got pretty healthy. So I just think it seems too extreme to me. But there's a huge group of people that support each other. And I mean, it looks like it's doable. On Reddit, for every person that said they loved it and they were doing it, there was somebody who said it was a nightmare for them. So I would say this is probably the most extreme kind of diet you could be on. I wouldn't recommend it. Um, she had a couple of things that looked interesting about like appetite suppressants, if people are looking into that, which I think might be more helpful than anything like HCG, honestly, if you can find natural um, appetite suppressants that work. I've used yeah, I don't want to do something I can't see me. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna inject myself with crap. I mean, that's my grandma was diabetic. I mean, like I watched her like shoot her insulin up, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, unless you have to do that, that doesn't sound like fun to me. But people do it. And I think that's interesting, like to what level is it worth it to lose weight? And some people go, "Oh, I'll do anything." I would, I'm like, I wouldn't do anything. That's for sure. But like some people go to, I watched a show the other day about, it's on Netflix. I can't remember the name of the series, but one of the episodes was on diets. And I swear to God, one of the places a lady went to, they do water fast. So water fasting is extreme, extreme. So it made the HCG people look like tame compared to what the water fast people do. Now, water fasting is pretty much just drinking water for about a period of time. And the lady that they featured on this Netflix show, she did a water fast, medically supervised water fast for a month. And I'm just like, I can't go a day without food. I'd cry so hard. And I mean, I love food. That's not the problem. I mean, you need to have food to live. It's just the extreme examples of what people are willing to do. And she did lose a bunch of weight, and it did work for her. However, in the same episode, they showed a guy. He looked really small anyway, but he had a lot of health issues, and he had cancer, I think it was, and he had wanted to. One of the things they sell cancer patients is that you do these miracle diets or whatever, stick something up your butt. Um, it will cure your cancer. So he had, I think he had recovered from cancer, but his body was still pretty fragile. And he had gone to this water fast treatment place in, I think it was in South America. And when he was there, he flipped out when he started eating again, and they said that's one of the super dangerous times. And that's why you need to be medically supervised, is that when you go without food for so long and all of a sudden you start reintroducing things, um, everything went totally wrong for him. And I wonder if there's like a clip I could show you. Let me see. Um, let me see. Um, Here's one. 27-year-old man dies. Oh, this is a different person, but he died from a 54-day water fast. Young people can die. People who are in pretty good shape, they die. Now, it's the hot thing to do in like basic, like all these CEOs in Silicon Valley, they love doing this water fasting stuff because they say it makes your brain sharper, your body resets, all these toxins come out. It's all about the toxins. But um it's dangerous, like losing weight too fast can be dangerous and you have to be very careful. Um, One of the things that happened with the guy in the Netflix video is he flipped out when he started eating food again, and all of a sudden he was um, taking his clothes off, and he wasn't that kind of person. He was like, "I'm leaving. You can't keep me here." And they're like, "We can't keep you here. If you want to go, we'll take you to this nearby hotel." So they took him to this hotel, but they didn't check on him after that because he basically checked himself out, and the guy fell down some stairs and he died. Now, who's to say if he died from that? But he freaked out so hard and he was weak that, you need to be supervised if you're doing dangerous stuff like this. Now, and I've said this about people who, like what is that? Where you take everything out of your diet. It's like is that the whole 30? Is that what it is? And you take everything out so you can see what you're kind of allergic to or have sensitivities to, but you're adding stuff back in. Now, you go a month without eating something like meat, and you've been a big meat eater, you're going to have some toxicity in your body too. Like you're going to have a potential for bad reactions because you've been without something for a long time, especially if you've been months and months without something and you suddenly eat like refined sugar and you're not used to it. It's going to make you feel gross. So be really thoughtful. If this is just like you're doing this crazy diet to like reset your body, and then you're just like, I'm just planning on going back to my Twinkies and Diet Coke, you might have problems going back to that. And I think the older you get, the more that it starts to show up too. So kids, a lot of times 20-year-olds can do just about anything. But like this article I just saw said 27-year-old Chinese man died from in a rehabilitation health center after not eating for 54 days. It was a water fast. And he was supposed to only do this for 70 days. 70 days. So I don't know how people can do that anyway. I mean, it's like you got to work and stuff. So you're sitting at a health center not doing anything but drinking water for 70 days. That seems like a long time. So anyway, they say that there's a ancient Chinese health method, Guigong, that's more than 5,000 years old, combining rhythmic breathing and mental concentration. So they're doing Chinese yoga basically, and so they're doing this. They're trying to fix the qi, and so people do this, and it's not just in China; it's all over the world. People are doing this to reset their bodies, and for every person that has been a proponent, I think you should be aware that people die. They can die from it. Anything where you're messing with the way your body runs, things can go terribly wrong. So this guy in China, they said that they have them do 2 to 3 days of pre-fast, and they eat fruits and vegetables, and then they transition to water only for about 10 to 11 days. Then they refeed, is what they call it, on a low-fat, low-sodium vegan diet. And usually water fasts are shorter than that, but they usually go between 5 and 40 days. So you want it as briefly as possible so it accomplishes your desired goals, which a lot of times is weight loss, but sometimes it's for mental sharpness and all of that. A lot of times it's for obesity. But this one, they had said that a woman after a 13-day water fast, 11 days of plant-based diet, she had a golf ball tumor in her stomach that shrunk by 50%. So people hear this and then they get really hopeful and do things that might be dangerous. And yes, if you have a tumor, you're already feeling like your life is kind of in jeopardy. But is it worth it to do something so dangerous and erratic? So, and the guy in China paid over $700 for the treatment, wanting to lose weight, and he died from it. So one of the things I worry about is people will pay any amount of money. They will do anything because they want it fast and they want it now. And I worry for all of you. I want it to be kind of safe, and I want it to be something you can do for the rest of your life. That said, I'm human. I'd like to lose weight quickly. I find things all the time, and I always worry, like me telling you guys like how to do things, that somebody will go, "Oh, I'm going to do like what Heather said." And then they have all these health issues and they're like, "Oh, I got really sick." I'm like, "Well, like if you have this going on in your life, you probably should have talked to your doctor before you went and did anything." Because there are tons of supplements. Like I know like Kara and I both like green tea, and like you can just drink green tea every day and it helps as an appetite suppressant. It's good for you. It's good for your heart and everything. However, there are supplements. If you take green tea as a supplement, that's fine. You get a more like concentrated dose. But the problem is there are people who are like killing their livers with huge amounts of supplements. And toxicity of some of these supplements are surprising, and you need to be so careful about what you're adding to your diet. And I'm a huge believer in a lot of the supplements, but I even I start to go, okay, have I added too much? Is this a thing that I upped just recently, is it causing adverse effects? And some of the effects can happen over time. So you're like, wow, now I'm suddenly not feeling good and I don't know. I always say every now and then, no matter how many supplements you've added into your things, every once in a while, start weaning off some of them. Most of the time, you don't need as many as you do. I kind of phase in and out. So you give your body a little recovery time, and then they kind of increase in effectiveness too. So some things you can't, like if it's medically necessary, but I tend to just go, okay, it's good to take little breaks from supplements and then sometimes switch them out for other kinds of similar effect things. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think that people have gone to the hospital because they've had too many green tea supplements. And I just saw that recently too. So it made me think, because I have green tea supplements and, because it's convenient. I can't always be sitting down drinking tea all day, but I mean, I don't mind it. Tea supplement, let's see what they say. Green tea extracts have been reported to cause liver and kidney problems in rare cases. Drinking green tea is possibly unsafe when consumed for a long time or in high doses, more than 8 cups a day. Drinking large amounts of green tea might cause side effects due to the caffeine content, which I am almost impervious to caffeine at this point. It is like an insane thing, but I know it's not good for me. If you have problems sleeping at all, tweak your caffeine in. And green tea does have caffeine. People forget that, but it's good because it can help with your cholesterol, lower your fats in your blood, and it's a great way for preventing heart disease by drinking delicious green tea. And it's yummy, like, so if you like tea anyway, green tea is a great one. It has 2 to 4% caffeine, unless you get a decaffeinated version. But usually I would say like your regular green tea probably is more unadulterated, so a little more delicious and a little bit more effective. What's in green tea that makes people lose weight is called, what is it called now? It's I keep thinking it's ECG. Let me see. What is that called? Green tea supplement. EGCG. EGCG. It's called epigalactogen gallate. I probably messed that pronunciation up totally. Epigallocatechin. It looks like catechin or something like that. Gallate. And it's in the compound. It's a unique plant compound, and this is what they think it reduces inflammation, which in my life I am all about reducing inflammation. You've heard me talk about mushroom supplements and how good they are for your body. Eating mushrooms, just eat a bunch of mushrooms and your body will thank you. It's so good for you. Even just like your regular store mushrooms do so many good things for you. Now, inflammation is what can cause cancers. It can cause destructive things in your body, heart attacks. It can cause blood issues. It can cause, everything that can go wrong in your body is kind of stemmed from inflammation. So you should be actively trying to stop inflammation in your body. That said, EGCG in a compound in green tea helps with that. It helps prevent heart and brain disease. I mean, it's just got a lot of good for you. But people overdo it. Just like everything, we're humans and we're just like, oh, well, a little bit of green tea is good. I'm going to drink green tea nonstop. Chug, chug, chug. And which is kind of hard when it's hot. I just can't, I have to sip. I got to let it cool down. So that slows me down anyway. And it can protect against free radicals in your body. So green tea, eat mushrooms. I think these are some of the best things you can do. Have one Brazil nut a day. Brazil nuts are great. It has selenium, and selenium will help you lose weight as well. Like they're like, you're getting what I'm saying here. A lot of the things you can do that will help you lose weight are because if you're eating a healthy diet, it all comes together. Brazil nuts are not actually nuts. They're seeds inside a giant, like it looks like a coconut full of these little seeds. And they're actually what we call Brazil nuts. So eat 1 or 2 of them a day and you will be very healthy. Let me see. Oops, I just saw the thing I was looking up for weight loss. Very good. So they're full of fiber and protein. They're essential for losing weight. Selenium, magnesium, phosphorus, thiamine, all helpful in weight loss. So it has L-arginine, which also makes it so your body's more efficient in burning fat. So this is what I recommend, is that instead of like shooting up with HCG, which might work for you. I'm not going to tell you don't do it, but it doesn't sound like fun. Or doing a crazy water fast. Think about what you're eating and add that kind of thing. I see both sides. Apple cider vinegar helping with appetite, and for myself, I've found that it's been pretty good. But I get grossed out drinking it, So I do have a supplement, but I kind of alternate on it. It includes what's that called? There's so many acronyms. BHB for ketosis. So BHB is a kind of salt, and exogenous ketone supplements. So they actually do trigger ketosis, which is something that I have strived for, but not been very successful at getting to because I love carbs. And I drink diet pop, which messes up your blood sugar too. But if you are doing like a real low carb, this is what you're striving for, is the ketones will, like, your body starts burning those instead of like relying on carbs. So it burns your own fat up. And that's why people lose weight so well under it. But things like BHB, I have these this apple cider vinegar supplement that has BHB in it, and it's supposed to help kind of kickstart that. So some doctors have said they work pretty good. Other people are like, you really got to be close to ketosis anyway for this to really kick in. But I say I lean on the side of, hey, why not? But that's one that I like. I'm leaning towards maybe not. I could do without it. But I think if you have anything that you are trying to do, you're cutting down your calories significantly. Please look into doing, at least adding a multivitamin. If you can't stand vegetables, if you can't stand nuts, and finding a good source of protein that will fill up the void of all the carbs that you're going to be cutting out. Cutting carbs is easy. Not easy in that we all like them, but easy is an easy way to lose weight. And that's one of the things that I've been working on and trying really hard to change. So that said, okay, you're doing that. You're eating some nuts. You're eating, like Kara had like 6 cups of vegetables a day. That's a lot. I do my green drink every morning, which gives me like about 3 of those, all in a condensed meal. But I also every meal try to have vegetables, and I think that helps. So I've been losing weight, and I'm real happy. But this month I've also added that extra thing of cutting out alcohol for a month just to see if it helps even more. And it might not. It might, but I really like it, so I know I'm not going to get rid of it for the rest of my life. And that was one of the things that Kara said. I don't want to do something I can't see myself doing for life. Um, I could temporarily do it, and I know if anything is just for a short amount of time, I can deal with it. But the best way to lose weight is to find a way that doesn't seem like any work and do that. So I hope that helps you a little bit. Please don't. I mean, like, just because I talked about water fast today and the HCG stuff, don't do that if you can help it. Um, I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever heard of, either of them, because people have had success, but those are the most extreme diets I could find. Um, and the worry for all of them is that it would turn into an eating disorder. And that's something that everyone needs to think about is, um, our country is very obese and getting overweight, and it's because I believe it's because the way our food is made now is really bad. It's a lot of refined sugar, refined flour, and we have